Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I feel a little bit like I know what the people on the Explorer of the Seas felt because it is windy here on this MSC Seascape and we are feeling that little jostle every once in a while. Not as extreme as they are for sure, but yeah, it's pretty windy out here right now, probably from the ramifications of the hurricane that just went through the area not too long ago. But we do have some stories of a lot of itinerary changes coming up. Some of them pretty soon, some of them right now, and so yeah, let's try and cover them as best we can. So first off, we have the Explorer of the Seas that was on that 14-day transatlantic crossing and got hit by the rogue wave. There were, of course, a lot of things broken, a lot of things smashed and everything. The ship itself is in good condition, it is not unseaworthy or anything. It did get jostled around quite a bit. And apparently there were some passengers that are going to require some extra care, some extra attention, if you will, and a couple of them were dropped off in Las Palmas as an unplanned scheduled medical emergency stop. So they're being looked after there. They didn't really go into the extent of the injuries that were happened, but we wish them all the best and hope that they recover very, very soon. We also have the ship itself now will be returning, but it will be returning late, shall we say. It's going to be 3 days late getting back to port, which of course is now not only affecting the passengers on board getting off, it's affecting the next cruise, which was supposed to be a 10-night sailing. Now, of course, will be reduced, and it's also already dropped 3 of the ports on the next call. Now, they are refunding everybody 3 days of cruising. They're refunding your Zoom or your Vroom internet. They're refunding your drink package for the 3 days, etc. Plus 1 extra day is being given as an extra onboard credit to make up for the unfortunate missing of some ports and the delay in the cruise. Of course, you're sitting there waiting for this cruise to arrive in a few days. You have a hotel already booked and now it's leaving 3 days later. You might have to pay for a hotel for 3 more days. So a 1-day onboard credit's not going to cover any extra expenses, plus any flights you have to now get changed because you have to, etc., etc. It's going to be a bunch of pain for about 1,000 to, bunch of thousands of passengers getting ready to get on the Explorer of the Seas. But again, something happened, an incident, unplanned. It's something we just have to roll with, unfortunately, but a shorter cruise for those people coming up next. No option to cancel the cruise has been given as far as I can see so far. Also, we have Carnival Cruise Line reaching out to guests, and they are basically saying, we're going to get faster to the fun on your next cruise. Over 200 different sailings on 2 ships are going to be leaving 1/2 hour earlier from port. Now this starts as early as next month and goes all the way into 2027 on the Carnival Pride and the Carnival Spirit. So if you're sailing on any one of those ships, it's not a big deal, but don't get caught off guard because don't forget they close embarkation about an hour before they set sail. So if you're thinking on arriving around 4 o'clock and your original sailing was 5 o'clock, say 3:30 even, you may be too late to get on the ship. So just keep that in mind for the Spirit and the Pride going forward. Getting on the ship and leaving port faster is usually a good idea. Things open up more, the casinos open up more, and you're faster onto your vacation. Shouldn't be a big deal. It's not like it's 4-hour difference or anything like that. So, but I thought I better let you know because some people cut those getting on board times really, really close. You don't want to do that. Speaking of itinerary changes, Norwegian Spirit in Japan has a sailing in 2025 that they've completely changed. and I mean completely changed. It was supposed to set sail from Taiwan, and now it's setting sail from Seoul, Korea. That's a big difference in your embarkation port. Not only that, many of the stops that it had planned are now gone. Plus, the ship sailing was supposed to have 2 sea days. It now has no sea days, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, because some people will say, well, now there's too many stops. We're stopping in a place every single day. And other people will, we miss those 2 sea days to kind of unwind and relax so we don't feel like we're go, go, go every single moment. Other people will say, well, look, we're getting 2 more stops on our cruise. That's a good thing. Those are stops we didn't pay extra for. And so they're changing the itinerary to give us more things. However, some of the ports that they've stopped, that they're not going to, are popular ports as well, but they're still going to lots of Osaka, many of the really popular Japanese locations. So I don't think it's that big a deal, but there are some people out there complaining that the entire itinerary has changed. Now, luckily the sailing is sailing late 2025, which is not quite a year away. It's about 11 months. Most people haven't booked flights, but if you booked your flight and you have non-refundable or non-exchange tickets that you have to pay fees for, well, now you have to make arrangements to fly into a completely different country. And also, that's a completely different visa and passport situation flying into Seoul, Korea than it is going in to Taiwan. So yeah, you have to make sure that you now have the proper visas if you need one, etc. Travel, whatever you need to get there. It makes a complete difference to your sailing. Yeah, itinerary changes. It's going to happen, but some of them can be more drastic than others. Like when you change your disembarkation or your embarkation port, those can be big deals because you're flying into areas or you have hotels already booked in those areas before your cruise. Now you have to scramble, even though it's 11 months out, not really scramble, but you do have to find completely new arrangements. Well, what do you guys think? Let me know. Is there a lot of itineraries changed? What do you think about leaving a half hour early? I don't think that's a big deal, but there are people out there saying, hey, I like to wait a little while because embarkation is really crowded, and the longer you wait, the less people are getting on the ship at that time, where if you try and go right at 11 o'clock in the morning, everybody's trying to get in the ship at that time, and so I like to wait till 2:30 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, you're going to have to get there a little earlier. It's a minor complaint. It really is. But believe it or not, there are some folks out there doing it. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.